Isaf and Na'ila. Isaf and Na'ila are a pair of deities, a god and a goddess, whose cult was centered near the well of Zamzam. Islamic tradition gave an origin story to their cult images, a couple who were petrified by Allah as they fornicated inside the Kaaba. Jihar. Jihar is a god worshipped by the Banu Hawazin. His image stood in ukase. Jihar is invoked in a talbiyah for longevity. Kahl. Kahl is the patron god of the Kinda kingdom whose capital was Karyat al-Ful. The town was called Dat Kahl after him. His name appears in the form of many inscriptions and rock engravings on the slopes of the Tuwaiq, on the walls of the souk of the village, in the residential houses and on the incense burners. Al-Kutbay. Al-Kutbay is a god of writing worshipped by the Nabateans. Mun'im. Mun'im is one of the nomadic gods of the Arabs in Palmyra. Mun'im's feast at Palmyra was celebrated on the 16th of August, on which meals of beef were feasted. The name Mun'im was also attested in Nabatean names, as well as the names of members of Edessa's royal family. Malik. Malik is a god attested in northern Arabian inscriptions. His name means, king. Manaf. Manaf is a god, described by Muslim scholar At-Tabari as, one of the greatest deities of Mecca, although little information is available about him. He is attested in the Quran as Zeus Maniphos, equated with Zeus. It is said that women would keep his image away during menstruation. Some scholars suggest that Manaf might be a solar god. Manāt. Manāt is the goddess of fate, destiny and death. In Nabatean and Latin inscriptions she was known as Manawat. She is an ancient goddess, predating both Al-Lat and Al-Uzza. She was equated with the Greek goddess Nemesis. She became the chief goddess of both the Banu Aws and Banu Khazraj, the two polytheistic tribes of Yathrib, Medina. In Islamic tradition, her worship was ended with the destruction of her shrine in the shore of Al-Qudayt. Muharriq. Al-Muharriq is a god worshipped by the Banu Bakr ibn and the rest of the Banu Rabi'ah, as well as by the Banu Tamim. His name means, the burner. Mun'im. Mun'im, rendered in Greek as Monimos, was one of the nomadic gods of the Arabs during the Palmyrene Empire period, along with Azizos, Ma'an, Abgal, Sha'd, and Ashar. Nasr. Nasr is a god worshipped by the Himyarites. Nikrah. Nikrah is a god associated with healing worshipped by the Manians. His shrine was an asylum for dying people and women in childbirth. Nuha. Nuha is a goddess associated with the sun. She was also associated with emotions, as described in various inscriptions in Najd, Saudi Arabia. Nuhm. Nuhm is a god worshipped by the Muzayna, who named their children Abd Nuhm after him. Al-Qayn. Al-Qayn is a god worshipped by the Banu Amr ibn Awf of the Aws tribe. Qaynan. Qaynan is a Sabaean god, and based on etymology, might be a god of smiths. Quzah. Quzah is a weather and a mountain god, as well as a god of the rainbow, worshipped by the people of Muzdalifah. His attribute is the bow and arrows of hailstones. He was probably syncretized with the Edomite god Qos and became known as Quzah. Rahm. Rahm is attested to be worshipped in Palmyra, current Syria. Ruda. Ruda is an important solar god in North Arabia. He is named in an Assyrian inscription as Roldayu and is frequently mentioned in Thamudic and Safaetic inscriptions. Dushra may have originated as a form of Ruda. Sha'd. Sha'd is a god of fortune worshipped by the Banu Kinana tribe. His cult image was a tall stone situated in the desert, and animals were sacrificed there for blessings. Sa'ida. Al-Sa'ida was a god whose cult image stood on Mount Uhud, but it is not known if he was worshipped in a temple, haram. Sakhr. Sakhr is a god worshipped by the Banu Harida of the Aws tribe. Samh. Al-Samh is a god worshipped by the Banu Zuraiq of the Khazraj tribe. Sha'd. Sha'd was one of the nomadic gods of the Arabs in Palmyra, paired with Ma'an. Shafr. Shafr is a god worshipped by the Banu Qatma of the Aws tribe. Shams. Shams or Shamsum is a female solar deity, possibly related to the Canaanite Shapash and the broader Middle Eastern Shamash. She was the dominant goddess of the Himyarite kingdom, and possibly still revered in some form by the Bedouin for several centuries afterward. Shay al-Qawm. Shay al-Qawm, who he accompanies the people, is a god associated with war and the night and protection of caravans, primarily attested in Sapphitic and, although less frequently, Nabatean. He is described as a god, who drinks no wine, who builds no home. Shay al-Qawm is also attested in Palmyra in an inscription dedicated by a Nabatean. Suwa. Suwa is an oracular god of the Fanaza tribe. Suwa. Suwa is a god worshipped by the Hudhail tribe. Sin. Sin was the chief god of the Hadramites. His role is disputed, while he may be connected to the moon, and by extension, the Semitic god Sin. His symbol is the eagle, a solar symbol. Talab. Talab is a moon god primarily worshipped by the Samh, a Sabaean tribal confederation which consisted of the tribes Hazhid, Humlan and Yarsum. He was also associated with pastures. He had an important temple in Rahm. Theandrios. Theandrios is the Greek name of a god worshipped by the Arab tribes of Mount Hermon. Wad is the national god of the Manaeans and he was also associated with snakes. According to the Book of Idols, the Kalb worshipped him in the form of a man and is said to have represented heaven, and his cult image reportedly stood at the city of Dumad al-Jandal. Yabub. Al-Yabub is a god that belonged to the Jadila clan of Tay, who according to the Book of Idols abstained from food and drink before him. It is said that the clan originally worshipped a different cult image until the tribe Banu Asad took it away from them. Yaghūth. Yaghūth is a god worshipped by the Qaynan. Yaghūth is a god worshipped by the Madhij, a Cottonite confederation. The people of Jurash in Yemen also worshipped him. Yatha is a god associated with salvation. His name means Savior. It is interesting to know that pre-Islamic Arabia also had Christian and Jewish populations too. Iranian religions also influenced the religious landscape of Arabs. After the rise of Islam, Allah became the sole god worshipped, with other pre-Islamic deities losing prominence. We hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel if you are interested. Thank you for your support.